we should remind everybody that it's okay not to be okay. Because, you know, what one person's stretch is another person's go-to place and enjoyment.
Sure.
One person's stretch is another person's stress. You know.
So I'm not sure if you still mentor young professionals entering the field, but if you do, or when you have, what's the most important lesson you'd share with them about resilience?
Again, it's fascinating because I do. I'm very active. I like to be involved with STEM. You know, I spent a number of years actually teaching in schools. Just once or twice a year, I spend half a day.
Oh wow! Are you a STEM
with
ambassador then?
Yeah, I'd like to be. My youngest daughter, who's actually 16 today, and when she was first starting at primary school, I used to go into primary schools and help with STEM, in particular science experiments. And one of their favourite ones was being able to put gloves on aseptically. So you will be able to then gown up and go into aseptic stroke sterile manufacturing areas. You may think it's a bit weird and a bit boring, but you put blue or purple ink onto their gloves that they then can't put any on their other glove or skin or inside the glove. You know, it's they get very competitive children doing it, and it's great fun. But I guess back to your question, you know, one of the main things that I say to everybody that I mentor is, regardless of their drivers, because everyone's got a different driver. So one size doesn't fit all, but one piece of advice does. And that is the monkey analogy. So a little bit like the topic before around, you know, the situation that I found myself in many, many years ago is, you know, people will come to you with challenges, not necessarily problems, but challenges. And depending on what role you're in, a role as an engineer, you're fundamentally there to try and solve a problem.
Yep.
You may already be solving problems and dealing with other things, whatever they may be. And the monkey analogy is treating somebody when they walk in and they ask for something as having a monkey on their back. So a weight, if you like. And the way I get them to visualize it and mentor them through it is by saying to them, if somebody comes to you and they metaphorically reach behind their back to remove the monkey and sit it in front of you, you have to say to them, okay, well, it's a monkey. And they say, well, yeah, I know it's a monkey, but this monkey is causing me problems. Okay, so what have you tried? So what have you tried so far? What do you think you should do? What would you like to try, and what support can I help you with? So you're in a position where you're leaving the monkey in their hands, because the first thing many people want to do is to get help. Most people don't.
Yeah,
correct.
You're looking to them to answer their own questions almost, rather
correct.
than you. Yeah.
Most people don't want you to take the monkey away from them, but a natural tendency from ourselves is we want to help, so we will take their monkey. And if you take their monkey, they will walk away. But guess what? That then becomes your monkey. And if you've already got some on your back, the weight and the noise, all of those monkeys can be very, very distractful. So that's something I get them to visualize. And it just helps people to see great conversation. It's not about turning people into selfish and not helping. It's about reflection. How can you ask good questions and give support?
Yeah.
Most people want to be listened to.
What is something you wish someone had told you when you were at the start of your career? It's okay not to be okay. Yeah. I think, you know, I don't think there's such a thing anymore as it being just one particular type of person's thing. Mm-hmm. When I was first going into the industry, because I came from a farming background, it was perceived that
men have to be okay. So, it's okay for, and this is, I mean, this was the sexist world that the world used to be. It's okay for ladies not to be okay, but men have to be okay. I'm talking 45 years ago, 40 years ago plus. The world has changed significantly now for the better, in my opinion. And I still think there are people out there who believe versions of that.
Yep.
And that's a belief system that's personal to themselves. But I think we should remind everybody that it's okay not to be okay, because what one person's stretch is another person's go-to place and enjoyment.
Sure.
One person's stretch is another person's stress. And dealing with those situations, because it's not what goes on in front of you at work, it's what's gone on behind closed doors elsewhere that's caused the situation as much as anything. And it's accepting that people aren't always okay, and again, being there for each other is very important.
Perfect. Looking ahead, what skills or knowledge do you think could be critical for the next generation of engineers or STEM professionals to succeed?
Yeah, it's a really, really, really timely question. I think, we are there's probably not been a time in most of the people who are already in the industry where technology is moving so fast. I mean, AI has gone from
Yeah, something in
something
science
which
fiction
which
to yeah.
yeah, it almost needed its handheld 2 or 3 years ago to be able to operate to the point of view where it's now self-sufficient. It's feeding itself and thinking for itself. Um, and I think the world that we're going to go into now, we're going to have to learn how to talk a different language
Hmm.
to to get the best results. I think there's a lot of unknown, which is exciting. But I think for our new generation of people, it's embracing that technology. It's using it for its beneficial intent, and really understanding how to deploy that kind of technology, taking Industry 4.0 to the next level. Because already that's gone from being something which is futuristic to something which is now and
Yep.
arguably moving into the past. We're probably at 4.1, 4.2 already. And I think that our new engineers, our new STEM professionals, embracing all of that is super important. There is still a need for basics, what people say would be historical engineering traits. There will always be a need for that more than ever, actually, because we're seeing the problems today outside of this industry in trade professionals, builders, plumbers, plasterers, etc. So that is something we must never forget.
Yep.
But I think technology and how we control technology to not stop technology controlling us, I think is really important, because this next generation have known nothing else but technology.
Follow up to that as well, which was what do you think engineers should focus on more as they start their careers? Technical skills, soft skills, or something else?
It's actually a flip on what I've just said.
Yep.
So I think that because they've grown up with technology, they this generation that's coming through now have kind of had 60-40. They kind of had 60 of the percent of the technology and 40% of life before the current technology. The next generation, so let's focus on what's coming next. So the students who have just done their A levels now or just about to start A levels, 5 years from now will be leaving university. The world 5 years from now that they're going to go into will be
Yes.
radically different to today.
Yep. Definitely.
So I think courses, opportunities for technology will be available. However, that's going to have a massive flip on soft skills. the language that AI speaks and other types of models is not soft skills. It's a very, very quick way of getting to a soft skill answer. You're going straight to the end of the runway without having to do the journey before the takeoff. And I think our soft skills for our younger generations are more important than ever. We go back to what we were saying before. Suffering is becoming more and more prevalent. I'm not saying it's purely soft skills. There's a whole different world out there today than what it used to be. But I think there is a lot of soft skills that could be utilized to take some of the pain away. We need to double down, help our people with that, have that on our curricula in schools. We don't need technology on the curricula. They've got that in their hands every day. They're experimenting at rate far more than generations before ever would.
Yep. Perfect. It's the AI aspect and the soft skills, as you were speaking then, it's become quite prevalent in the recruitment industry actually, and things like recruitment adverts, using AI to create adverts for job adverts, and it's quite blatantly obvious most of the time, and it's kind of a skill that's almost been lost in kind of how to write a good job description, or not description, a good job advert. So things like that, I think, yeah, it's kind of related, but it just reminded me of that. But no, but thank you very much, Mike. That was really, really brilliant to get your thoughts, and thank you very much for taking the time to be interviewed.